start your own comic company?
Well, the comic book is really a division of the larger production company. So, you know, when I started the company with Corey and Neal, it was really as an opportunity to be able to tell my own stories and to have, you know, I recognized that there was a moment in my career as an actor that was going to afford me other opportunities, and I didn't want to pass that moment by, because then I would just be like, you know, everybody else is just hoping for a job. But I feel like the people that are sitting to either side of me are people who have something to say, and because I have this platform, what they have to say echoes what I have to say, and then I figured we could all say more if we do it together. So that's really what the company was born out of, and the comic book aspect of it is a division of it. Obviously my exposure to this world and to all of you really enthusiastic, excited people is a great thing, and then the insight and the knowledge of Corey and Michael and Victor and Neal and Sean and all the people around us that are, and Sean, there's a lot of Seans in the BTD world, but you know, that was something that really inspired me and excited me, so that's why we're here.
Cool. Another question, are you single? That's a better
Yeah, that's a little bit off topic, isn't it? What'd you say? What are you, what?
Mike is single, why am I not? Am I a chopped liver? I don't know, whatever.
I guess I don't know that to the whole panel. Are any of you single?
I am affianced.
Oh, Neal's affianced. Yeah. Thank you for your question. Hey man, how are you?
Good, dude.
Good, thanks.
So I got a statement and a question for Michael. And like, so I used to be like you, or like any of you, all of you, I guess. I used to be really into Marvel and DC. And after reading the Lucid comics, I got way hardcore into manga. Like, cool. I think it's awesome now. All because of Lucid.
Awesome. That must have been pretty quick.
You did that in 2 days?
Yesterday, yeah, you got into manga yesterday.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool, that's great.
He went to this, he was like, give me the manga.
I must have all manga. I love manga now.
Hey, it's not really manga. Settle down.
No, I love it. I used to be just like you.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm really happy actually, because I think that sometimes we forget that smaller publishers can tell really big, fun, entertaining stories, and I wanted to write a book that competes with the big guys, and you know, Archaia is a company that turns out books like that, so I'm glad it's in your...
Earlier today we were doing an interview at MTV, and Joe Quesada was right after Michael and Zach. Joe is the Chief Creative Officer of Marvel, and Michael goes right up to him. He's like, Joe, hey, I made this book for you.
You're really gonna like manga after this. Check it out.
I used to be just like you.
Wow. You have a question too, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, sorry. Come here and get an autograph copy.
Yeah.
You can ask your question.
Guys, there's one more question after you. I'm afraid we're running out of time, sadly. So.
Because the story is so awesome, you ever think about like telling like the True Blood people about it? Like, hey, I got some ideas.
Hey guys, what do you mean? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yes, absolutely.
True Blood, season 4, Lucid.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Okay. Thanks for your question, man. Have fun at Comic-Con. Hi, how are you? What's up?
Last question.
What are you saying? About the magic style, like the runes. Where did you get the inspiration for that? Or like,
well, yeah, we've been calling them sigils, and a lot of that came from, you know, Grant Morrison and reading his stuff in Pop Magic. But also, when you sit down to write a comic about magic, you know, I had to think, you know, when we do the magic spells, I don't want it to be anything that's in Latin or backwards, or I wanted to do something different and something that would only work in a comic on the page visually. So I thought, well, why don't we do the spells as sigils? And we won't get into it in the first volume, how that really works. But
It's Canadian.
It's Canadian. It's a secret Canadian language. No, but I think actually, if I get to do what I want to do in the next volume, there will be more about that specifically.
That would be like hilarious.
Cool.
Like it seems almost like Nordic room.
Yeah, it's not necessarily Nordic, but I will say this: I don't think I've told anybody this before. Each one of the sigils in the comic is a quote-unquote actual magic spell. They all actually mean something. So. By reading the book, you're going to help spread world peace.
And sigils. You guys, I think we have to stop.
We have to stop.
We have to stop. We have to stop. Stop. We have to stop right now.
Jumping back!
Stop. Or jumping next. How many jumps next? Oh, he's not going to jump next. Thank you all so much for supporting Before the Door and